Hey guys, it's Tuesday, it's puck time, it's my last show for 2 weeks. Carmine Bianco is taking over Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then Alex B. Smith all of next week. We got a lot of games to talk about. Only one guest today, Alex B. Smith, and man, does he know hockey. He's got a 5% play up tonight, a very rare play. Our strongest play allowed, it's over at sportsmemo.com, and he's the $2 Tuesday handicapper, so you guys can literally head over to sportsmemo.com and get his 5% play for only $2. Let's bring Alex in. What's up, my brother?
Not much, just trying to stay warm here in Minnesota. We got a day where the temperature is 0 and the wind chill is 20 below 0, so I'll be staying in and watching this big slate.
Please do, man. I know it's freezing cold. I'm on my way to Zermatt, skiing in Switzerland, and it's pretty damn cold there as well.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, let's get straight into the show. Florida hosting Tampa Bay tonight, and Tampa Bay just came off a bad loss. You can't lose 5-1 at home against a really good team like the New York Islanders. These are statement games that will be remembered later in the season, and Tampa Bay must be pissed. It's a pick'em game against Florida. The total is 6.5. You know, Alex, I think we're going to see a bounce back by Tampa Bay, but I'll tell you, I don't want to ruin what I consider a really strong bet. So I'm going to go with over the total of 6.5. I think we're going to get 7 to 9 goals scored in this game. These are two really fast hockey teams. It's going to be a super exciting hockey game with a whole lot of goals scored.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you look at the total for Tampa Bay games, have gone over in 6 of the last 9, including 9 of the last 10 meetings against Florida. You said definitely need a bounce back after what seemed to be a good spot for Tampa. The Islanders were on a tricky travel spot in that game, but the Islanders get pulled away with a 5-1 win. So you got Andrei Vasilevsky in net for the Lightning. Even with him being the better goaltender, he's still going to allow a few goals because this is a Florida team, hard to stop, especially they've gotten their offense rolling. They scored 5 goals in their last game against San Jose. So 6.5, I think we'll see this game go well over that total.
Yeah, we're on the same page, brother. Real quick, man, you know, Alex, Puck Time started with a phone call to you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is our 1-year anniversary. It's been a privilege to host this show. I love doing it. I love talking hockey. It's amazing to listen to you and Dave Koken and Buster and Andrew and Carm. I mean, you guys are just so knowledgeable in this area. It's such an impressive show. All I can take credit for is being the host. But I do have a special promo up for all of our listeners, and you guys are so loyal. There's no more loyal listeners on any show that we do at WagerTalk than the Puck Time listeners. That and maybe First Pitch, our baseball show. Myself and Dave Koken do that. Anyway, I took 50% off of anyone's hockey plays until the All-Star break. So anybody at Sports Memo or anybody at WagerTalk, half price off of their NHL package until the All-Star break. I just used the promo code NHL half. Alex, tweet that out for us later on, if you will, and include me. Definitely. Include Carm, include the boys, and we'll all retweet it too. Dude, Pittsburgh's hosting Montreal tonight, and Montreal had a really nice win, 2-1 win against the Rangers, but this Pittsburgh team is so interesting to watch. I mean, they have so many scorers on that team. Well, okay, they don't have so many scorers, but they have a lot of top-heavy, good scorers. But this team isn't winning that way. This team is a defensively disciplined hockey team. They have won 3 in a row. They've won 6 of their last 8. They've kept, in their last 3 games, Alex, they kept 2 opponents to a duck, which is 0 in cricket speak. I like the under in this game, man. I think the only way Pittsburgh wins games is if they play tight defense, forecheck like crazy, and I don't think this Montreal team is a lights-out offensive juggernaut, so 6 seems to be a bit high to me. I can see this game being 3-1 in either direction.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. The blueprint for making a solid organization in the National Hockey League, you definitely have to follow the model of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, they're able to plug and play guys from their farm team in the AHL, and even when they have injuries with Chris Letang, Sidney Crosby, Patrick Hornquist, Nick Bustad, Evgeny Malkin, they've been able to replace those guys. Like you said, if they don't score 5 or 6 goals tonight, they can tighten up on defense, win games 2-0, 3-1, and I think that's what we're going to see here. We got a goalie that's getting hot in Tristan
Yeah.
Jarry, 7-4 in the season with a 1.81 goals against and a 9.43 save percentage. I like Pittsburgh here in regulation minus $1.20, but definitely wouldn't talk anyone out of that under as well. Montreal, even though they had a nice win, getting revenge on the New York Rangers after they blew that 4-goal lead a couple of weeks ago. They won 2-1. Like I said, they're not an offensive powerhouse by any means, and they've lost 9 of their last 11. So I like Pittsburgh in regulation.
Alex, this game fascinates me. Arizona is minus 134 against one of the hottest teams in hockey, the Calgary Flames. We have a total of 5.5 on tap. You know, Arizona just can't. The one great thing about Arizona from their perspective is they have avoided a losing streak all year. I mean, sure, they lost 2 games recently, and then they came back and beat Columbus. They beat Philadelphia. They lost to Pittsburgh, and they beat Chicago in a shootout. But they've really avoided any type of long-term slump. And conversely, Calgary just can't lose under their new head coach. They've won 5 games in a row. And they're scoring finally. I mean, we've been waiting all year for this team to break out. Amazing hockey game last night. I just want to stop quickly because I was reminded about last night. If you actually listened to Puck Time yesterday and you took advantage of what the Prez, just me, suggested, I told you Ottawa was the play against Boston. I told you the New York Islanders was the play against Tampa Bay. I told you the over was the play in the Calgary game. What was the 4th game? No, Islanders. Washington. And I told you Washington would lose as well. I called every game yesterday, Alex. And all 4 dogs won. Had you have bet $10, you would have gotten paid $440 on all 4 of those teams. Anyway, look, this Calgary team, man, I don't want to step in their way right now, Alex. We never know how long, they're on a 5-game win streak. We never know how long these win streaks can go. And we've seen in hockey, these teams can put down 10-game win streaks. With that said, I think it's a really bad spot for Calgary. They just played a bruising, fast-paced hockey game against Colorado. If I were to bet the side in this game, I would take Arizona. But Alex, I look at the over. I understand Arizona is not some high-scoring team, but Calgary has got their legs back and they are scoring goals. I think we could get to 6.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially, like you say, you got a 5.5 price shaded to the under, so you're getting plus money taking the over here in that spot. But the thing I'm looking at with these 2 teams would be the regulation draw. There's no 2 teams in hockey that have gone to overtime more than Calgary and Arizona. We just saw it with the Flames last night. That was their 11th overtime game of the year. And Arizona, their last game, going into the shootout against Chicago, that was their 11th game to go past 60 minutes. So plus 285, I'd be looking at.
Yeah, I love that, dude. And that's a great line. Vancouver hosting the Leafs tonight. And I'll tell you, man, I bet St. Louis, which is the first time I've ever bet against the Leafs in my life. That did not go well. Leafs looked amazing on Saturday night. Just throttled the Blues. And now they've crossed the country. They're in Vancouver tonight, and they're playing a pretty hot Vancouver team. They've won their last 2 games, but you got to take that with a grain of salt. 6-5 overtime victory at home against Buffalo, and then they won 5-2 at home against Ottawa. This Leafs team, I'm struggling here, Alex. I don't know who they are yet. I feel almost like I need to stay away from this game. If I were to bet it, I would likely take over the total. I know it's 6.5, but I can't find anything else.
I would slightly lean with Vancouver here in this spot at home as a dog. You look at them; they've won 3 of their last 4 games, but they have scored 24 total goals in their last 5 games overall. They're starting to get the offense clicking right now, and they haven't been getting the sturdiest of goaltending. They had to go back and forth with Demko and Markstrom. That should come at some point, but this is the over could be a play here as well. Obviously, we've seen Toronto finally get their offense rolling at times. They did cool off a little bit in Philly and in Colorado, but bouncing right back with 5 goals against St. Louis. But I think Vancouver, they know this is a good team coming in, and this is still a young Vancouver team. They understand that they have to take advantage of being at home and playing some of these upper echelon teams, make a statement here. So I would lean slightly to Vancouver.
He's Alex B. Smith. You can find him at sportsmemo.com. He's got a 5% play up tonight. You guys can get it for only $2. He's our featured $2 handicapper at sportsmemo.com. And don't forget 50% off any one of our NHL experts until the All-Star break. Head over to Sports Memo and WagerTalk. Use the promo code NHL half. As well, Alex, before we get into all the rest of the games, Ralph is on a big NFL run, just had a really solid season. He's got a rare 5% bet coming this Sunday. You guys could get it for half price. Head over to wagertalk.com, use the promo code RALPH20. Brother, let's race through these games and call it a show. I know people are having a little bit of internet issues today. I mean, Alex's voice is coming across clear. But his screen is freezing. It doesn't matter. It's a talking show. So long as you can hear us, we're good to go. That rhymed. St. Louis, after a throttling at home by the Leafs, find themselves on the road in a bounce-back situation against Buffalo. They're minus 130 with a total of 5.5, and I like the Blues here to bounce back, Alex.
I do too. They've lost back-to-back games, taking a Buffalo team that we've seen lose 3 of their last 5, and they've been giving up goals in bunches for quite some time. They've actually given up 12 goals in their last 3 games. I think it's a good spot for St. Louis and fairly.
Nashville playing San Jose. Nashville really isn't playing the way that we thought they would play. I mean, they're playing to the over. They're only 3 games above 500. And San Jose, 15-15-1 on the season. Look, I can't take Nashville minus 170, but I do like them in regulation. That's where I'm looking.
Yeah, I would also look at the over here, too. I mean, San Jose's defense has been atrocious right now. You look at, they give them 20 goals up in the last 4 games, and they've also concurrently lost 4 straight. Like I said, Nashville finally getting the offense rolling against the New Jersey team, but we know the issues that New Jersey's had defensively as well. So maybe Nashville can take advantage of that and win this game, but I think both teams will be able to score.
I like Minnesota a lot in regulation, hosting Anaheim. This Minnesota team is finally playing some really good hockey right now, and I think Anaheim is going to be a bet against team from here on out till the rest of the year. Minnesota in regulation.
I actually look at the under in this spot here. We got a Wild team that's coming home after a long road trip, a successful road trip. That last game they lost 6-2 against Carolina. It was their first regulation loss in 12 games. They had earned points in 12 straight before that. This is an Anaheim team that they've consistently struggled to get things rolling offensively. Kaapo Kähkönen's in net for the Wild tonight. He's been sturdy so far, pretty good, in spell of Dubnyk. So I think this is his first home start. That crowd, God bless whoever goes out in this cold to go to this game tonight. But I think we'll see this being a low-scoring affair.
Brother, I love the Winnipeg Jets. I've been telling everybody since our pregame, our preseason show that this team is a strong team, and they are playing unbelievable hockey. I'm going to bottom line this and hand it to you. Winnipeg minus 1.5, Winnipeg minus 2.5, Winnipeg to the over on team totals, and for the game to go over. There's 4 bets for you.
I'm just going to stick with one of the ones you mentioned. Jets team total over 3.5. I mean, Detroit's defense, it would sound like broken records talking about how bad they are, but they just continue to let in goals in bunches. Definitely not trying to lay that price with Winnipeg, but even at 1.5, I'd like to get better than even money in that spot. So I'm just going to stick with the team total over.
Dallas, new coach, Alex. It's got to come into play. I mean, look what happened with Calgary. They laid out a 5-game win streak, and the same thing happened with the Maple Leafs, 3-game win streak. It's not that anybody hated on Montgomery or he was a terrible coach, but there's still new, fresh blood coming in. I always think that's a good thing. They are minus 200, and I'm looking the same kind of a bet as Winnipeg. I like Dallas in regulation. I like Dallas minus 1.5. But I also lean on the over. Alex, I think New Jersey is going to be kept to a maximum of 1 goal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see that, but I like Dallas in that puck line play, as you mentioned. The issue here is that this Dallas firing Jim Montgomery doesn't seem to be in the same exact vein of John Hines or
Yep.
even obviously the Bill Peters issue in Calgary. We don't really know what the deal is exactly with Montgomery. This is a pretty abrupt thing that happened early this morning. So I think we'll see change happen later on. But the fact that this happened on a game day, I think the Stars as a team, they're just going to kind of look to, hey, let's just focus on what we can on the ice and get the job done against a bad New Jersey team. So Dallas Stars.
Guys, just a quick reminder, this is my last show for 2 weeks. Carmine Bianco will be hosting out of my studio Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Alex, you'll be handling next week. I just want to say to everybody, thank you guys so much for an outstanding year. Tomorrow is our 1-year anniversary. You guys are the most loyal listeners we have out of any single show on WagerTalk, and we feel the love, guys. I mean, everybody, Richie, Rich, Terry, JJ, Superman, Kathy, and Tina, and, you know, and on and on and on. I mean, obviously, I'm forgetting a whole lot of you guys, but man, we read the comments and we know you guys are part of our community, and we really humbly appreciate it. Edmonton plus 100 against Carolina here, Alex, and I don't think I need to be tricky. No reason to take Edmonton in regulation or on the puck line. I'm just going to take Edmonton.
Yeah, I agree with that. They've been playing decent at home, and this is the Carolina team. They've just been really up and down. Like I said, they got the 6-2 win at home against Minnesota, and like I said, stopped their streak. But we've seen them just go hot and cold right now. It's a hard team to read. The only way I would be looking here, agreeing with you, would be
Vegas Golden Knights trounced by the New York Rangers on Sunday. Now they're playing Chicago, who's playing way better hockey. Minus 200, over 6.5 is the total. You know, I'm going to pass on this game, Alex, but my lean is Vegas minus 1.5. I think Chicago's going to slowly come down to earth.
Yeah, I agree, and I would lean with that too. Vegas had defeated the Hawks in every meeting until the very last one, where the Hawks finally got a win against them. And like I said, at home, it's pretty uncharacteristic. So they're going to come out, I think, guns and blazing. I might look at the first period over 1.5 here.
He's Alex B. Smith. He's got a 5% play up tonight over at sportsmemo.com. He's the $2 handicapper. You can get his play for only $2. As well, the promo code's Ralph20. That's half price for his 5% NFL bet on Sunday, and NHL half price for any single NHL handicapper over at Sports Memo or WagerTalk, half off of up until the All-Star break. Alex, under in the LA Kings game. One word, go. Okay, boys, that's the show. Again, everybody, thank you so much. I will miss Christmas, so please have an incredible Christmas. It's the only time in the English language where we could really use the word merry. So have a Merry Christmas. I will speak to you guys before New Year's. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be the host of this show.